Well, I have officially been on YouTube for 1 year, and it has been a crazy year. So I just want to take a minute and recognize a few people specifically. First is Britton over at Some Okie Dude, and Ed, which you guys know him as Gryftkin. These two guys took a bit of a flyer on me. They knew me through the Talking Story Town Square videos. And so these two guys reached out very early on, and they're like, this is the inappropriate book review guy. And first and foremost, I am sorry. My nerves get the better of me. And when my nerves get the better of me, I ramble. And so I remember being very nervous for both of those because they were my first, live streams or discussions with people. And I was so worried that I was going to say something idiotic and realized that I said, like 5 cumulative hours worth of idiotic things. So it was just awesome that these guys, whether some people may think that the risk was minimal, but they did. They took a little bit of a risk on me, and they reached out and they're like, this guy is and maybe a little interesting and has a different take, and they wanted to see what made me tick. And so that was just awesome. It sort of helped me, made me feel validated in the YouTube booktube kind of space. And so that was super cool. Then obviously I can't forget my brothers Ted and Brian over at Casper's Mystery Corner. Those guys have become genuine friends. They're not just brothers, but they're genuine friends. And I'm so thankful that we can laugh and cut up together, because every time that we talk, we just have an absolute blast. And I always leave those conversations feeling so edified and uplifted. So it has just been so much fun to get to know them. And I need to make a point to be more intentional about getting together, because every time we get together, we just have an absolute blast. Then there's my brother Jordan over at First Line Library, who I consider not just a good brother, but a true friend. I think he has one of the most underrated channels on YouTube. His production quality, I think, is absolutely top tier. And I'm not talking about just his audio and video, which, I think it blows every other booktuber out of the water. He rivals Ramble Broadcasting as far as that production quality goes, but also in how he thinks about his videos beforehand, his insight that he's bringing to the table, and shining light on books that aren't always the most popular. He's the reason I got into Weird Space. So Jordan being a good brother, and now I can call a good friend, has just been awesome. With that, I can't forget my brothers Matt, Preacher, and Doug over at Faith and Fiction Book Club, and then obviously Denver and Will and Christian, who are all part of this chat on Instagram. And this was my first interaction, like a group interaction with Christians talking about science fiction and fantasy, and it was just so refreshing to be able to get to talk to these guys. And as I hope some of you have used me as a resource for what books maybe you should or shouldn't pick up, I was able and am able to use them as that same resource, because they kind of know my tastes. And so I can throw something out there and be like, do you guys think this book is for me? And they'll let me know. And so they have just been an invaluable resource to me. And then I obviously cannot forget my brother Sam over at iSamWise. And I'm not just saying this to sound like sentimental or whatever, but Sam, I would say, is one of my best friends. And I don't mean on YouTube, I mean overall. Obviously, for those of you that don't know, I'm talking about Sam over at iSamWise, which I think all of you know. And if you don't, you definitely need to go check out his channel. Sam is genuinely one of my best friends. And that's crazy to think that it's somebody that I met on the internet, and I grew up, parents were like, be careful about meeting people on the internet. Which sometimes we're constantly telling jokes and picking at each other, but genuinely has become one of my best friends. And so it's because of YouTube that I have a new very close friend, which is crazy. And it's because of Sam that I got to talk to AC Wilson, who's a fantastic author. He's hilarious, by the way, and that guy reads books like crazy. I don't know how he has time to write with all the books that he reads, but he is a machine. And then also in that group chat, I got to talk to Chris over at the Bearded Book Beast and Zachary Shaye over at Shaye's Library. I consider both of them good friends now. It's because of Shaye. He recommended Lost Boy to me, and it became not only one of my top books of the year, it's one of my favorite books I've ever read. And I enjoyed it so much that my wife and my kids actually bought me a Lost Boys t-shirt for Christmas, and I absolutely love it. And it's because of that book, and it's because of that recommendation. So it's been so cool to get to meet some of these guys and have just some good laughs and a fantastic time with. And alongside them, Jonathan Cohn, just being able to email him and say, hey, would you want to come on the channel and let me pick your brain? And he said, absolutely. And we got to sit there and talk. And I got to talk to one of the guys that I've watched for years. That has just been, I mean, not to sound like, oh, I was starstruck or anything, but that was crazy to me. To get to sit there and pick his brain about some stuff and just hang out and nerd out about the things that we love. So much fun. And then probably my favorite video, as far as how much fun I had, probably my favorite video that I put out this year was with my friend Chris and Zeke and Josh Bobbitt, alongside Doug. Man, that was so much fun. We had such a blast, or at least I know I did, and I hope you guys did too. I had so much fun with them. I laughed so hard several times, and to be able to nerd out with like-minded brothers and to not take ourselves too seriously, to be able to pick at one another and have a good laugh, especially when we were all pretty much strangers, but because we were united in Christ and we're of one spirit, it was so easy to just get to riff with one another. And so all three of those guys, and I'm also including Doug, but Josh and Zeke and Chris, man, those guys are so much fun to hang out with. And I really hope we do it again soon. Also, each one of you, if you guys are watching, would have excellent YouTube channels, by the way. It doesn't even have to be about books, but I cannot recommend you guys starting a channel enough, because I would be one of your first subscribers. It has been so much fun to get to talk to you guys and get to know you guys. So I'm not trying to pressure you, but I would absolutely love it. You guys have some great insight, and these guys are super interesting. More than anything, they were a ton of fun to hang out with, and they've become good friends of mine. But then I also got to jump over to Josh's channel at Already Overbooked, and we did the Ordinary Grace buddy read. That was so much fun. It was great to have a deep conversation about a book with a fellow brother, to be able to really sort of dissect some things. And he pointed out a lot of stuff that I completely missed. I mean, it was like swing and a miss. So for him to be able to point these things out and ask me these questions, I'm like, I never even thought about it that way. And so it was really cool to see his take and how he dug deep into these stories. That was so much fun. And then he introduced me to Rowdy over at Rowdy Player One, who, man, Rowdy, guys, that is a funny guy. And he reads some books that are normally outside my wheelhouse. And it's largely because of those two that my TBR has become even more stacked. And lastly, I cannot thank everybody enough that helped me with the Christmas story video. Just being able to reach out to you guys and to have a near unanimous yes from everybody, man, it was very humbling. It was very humbling and so appreciated that it meant a lot to me. And I don't want it to seem like that I did that. Right. That was the whole point, was that it's about him. It's about Christ, and have everybody come on board, in one accord to tell the greatest story ever told. You know, if I didn't do anything else with this channel, that's enough. That was worth it to me. So thank you to each and every one of you genuinely, for your time and your efforts, and your willingness to help me with those videos. And I said lastly, but really lastly, I want to thank you. I want to thank you guys, the viewers. I want to thank you guys that watch almost every one of my videos. You know, there are some of you like Penny, that you guys who comment on almost every video, and I'm able to have genuine dialogue back and forth with, to let me know not only that you're watching, but the messages of encouragement and support that you guys have given me over this past year. It means a lot. Know that it doesn't go unnoticed. Know that it doesn't go unappreciated. Because it's not the books that I'm recommending that matters. It's not it's not the silly videos that I'm doing or whatever. But for me, it's these relationships that I'm able to build with you guys that has made me continue to make the videos. Just to be frank with you, if I was just doing book reviews, I probably would have stopped pretty early on. But you guys, and the support and the edification and the encouragement, and sometimes even the correction, I can't tell you how much it means to me. It has humbled me and has made me appreciate each and every one of you. Has made me appreciate, the small, the little platform that I have. I'm just so encouraged by you guys to know that there's other people out there like me that are believers, that just want to have a good time with good stories. And through that, I'm able to have genuine relationships with. It means the world. So just know that this has been a fantastic year because of you guys. So I'm looking forward to another fantastic year, an even better year. I hope that I can bring you guys a lot of laughs, a lot of joy and entertainment, and if nothing else, a lot of ammo for some bald jokes. So guys, truly, thank you. I cannot thank you guys enough. I love and appreciate each and every one of you, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.